and a great week for social networkers. Social Media Week is started yesterday, actually, and there are events going on all this week. More on that when we come back. Well, if you love your Facebook and can't live without tweeting, this is going to be a great week for you. The Social Media Week is happening here in Chicago. It is the place to be. We'll have details on that coming up next. No doubt, social media has changed the world, and this week, Chicago is one of the host cities for Social Media Week, an event that highlights exactly how social media has impacted our lives. It kicked off yesterday, and people from all over the area are taking part, actually all over the world. The discussions and panels will explore everything from the way Twitter has changed journalism to how it affects what people choose to buy and even watch on television. And here for a look at what we can expect from Social Media Week is Jacqueline Zenn. She's a media strategist with SociaLogic's. So is there anything new on the horizon? You feel at conferences like this, a lot of times things get announced, and well, what's coming up on the social media horizon? The
amazing and challenging thing for businesses about social media is that there always is something new on the horizon.
Right.
Right now, there's the recently launched Google+, which people have been a bit slow to adopt, but we've been noticing that it worked much more, that individuals and brands are starting to understand how it works, and it's gaining some traction.
Okay.
And then I started in this business 7 years ago, and then at the time Facebook was just for college students, and LinkedIn and Twitter didn't even exist, and that wasn't that long of a time ago.
No, it wasn't.
So it's constantly evolving and growing.
And I hear today it was announced that Facebook is going to be changing some of its site and how it operates.
They're changing some of their layout and their policies, so it's something for individuals and brands to take notice of, because that'll affect what they do. It'll affect some individual privacy and things like that.
So do most people, Joe Blow average, not you folks that work in this area, but do most people maximize social media? Do they even have a clue as to how to maximize it?
I think most people probably just have a Facebook account that they use to keep in touch with their friends and family, and that's great, and that might be all they need.
But this is kind of what you do, is try to help people get the most out of social media. So give us some examples of a way maybe an individual could do more for themselves with social media.
Well, one of the things we noticed too, because the industry is growing so rapidly, we're actively hiring right now. And then how people brand themselves online, what they have on their Facebook, what they have on their LinkedIn, what they have on their personal Twitter, is that we look at that and we see that. So whether or not you're actively looking for a job, you want to consider that that's your personal brand going out there on the internet.
Oh, that's interesting. So what kind of things would you look for example?
We do look for certain keywords, a certain amount of expertise. We also look if they maintain a certain level of professionalism, which doesn't necessarily mean you need to be all straight-laced, but at the same time, you need to remember that potential clients, potential bosses, and people are looking at this and they're reading this.
And how about for a company? How would a company best maximize their use of social media?
There's a ton of different ways a company can do that, from just even having an active presence and using it for customer service and talking to people when there's problems, to local businesses can offer coupons and special deals when you check in on Foursquare or Yelp or Facebook, or there's even bigger brands can create really creative, amazing campaigns that are primarily driven through social media.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of stuff like that. I mean, it's amazing. I'm not one of those people who does well with this at all. I feel like I'm missing the boat, though, because I do feel like it's an opportunity to reach a lot of people. I just haven't had an opportunity to kind of jump right in. How typical am I?
That is fairly typical. What I think a lot of people overlook is the fact that, and companies, that social media is truly democratic. Is that I can, with my Twitter account, can reach just as many people as, say, a huge brand like Nike or Apple can. So once something goes viral online, that can spread to millions and millions of viewers within a couple hours.
That's true.
Which is it makes it a powerful tool.
Now, tell me a little bit about the blogosphere and how that factors in, because I understand you got your career started by writing a blog on AOL, and so because you hear bloggers now, I mean, people employ people to blog. I mean, it's a major sort of outlet now.
Yeah, no, back when I started in college, I started just a silly little fashion blog, and then that got picked up by AOL, which led to a job, which led to where I am now. So, and that's, again, I think a lot of people might start it on a whim, but you don't realize the power and the fact that when people are searching on the internet and you have the information they want, they'll find you, they'll discover you, they'll follow you, and it can go literally overnight from something that is, think that your friends and family are reading, to something that gets thousands or millions of page views.
And that can be advertising and a whole new career for people.
Oh, yeah, I'm not the only one.
So tell me about the conference. What can we expect from the conference?
So the conference it's an international event with cities around the world, and this was the first year that Chicago was selected as the host city, in part because social media and technology in general is really growing here. It's the Silicon Valley of the Midwest. So, and then there's different events, panels, discussions, learning opportunities, and that kind of thing, which people, it's physical, in the physical real world, but they're also virtual. There's live streams, there's tweeting. People in different host cities are interacting with each other. So
okay. And is it open to the public? Can anybody?
A lot of events you have to register for, but it is open to the public. You don't have to be a social media professional. You can just go online to the socialmediaweek.org and go register for it.
All right. Well, thank you, Jennifer. I always get a great education when I'm talking about social media, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks so much. And just in time for Social Media Week, Facebook plans a makeover, as we were just talking about. According to USA Today, the social network site plans to unveil a big redesign. The overhaul will include music services, video sharing. It may also update its iPhone app and launch an iPad app. The changes may be an answer to Google Plus in its battle with the site as an innovator. Facebook is expected to unveil the changes on Thursday at its developers conference.